you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about?
Overconsumption. It's not just draining your wallet, it's keeping you in the rat race and that 9 to 5. Every unnecessary purchase represents time you had to trade to earn that money. And when you're constantly spending, you're constantly working to catch up. We live in a world that constantly tells us to buy more, spend more, upgrade, replace, and keep up with everything and everyone. And while it might feel normal, it's quietly draining our wallets, raising our stress, and keeping us in a cycle of working just to spend. So today, we're going to break down how overconsumption works and why it keeps you broke, and how consumerism has been engineered to twist your brain, your budget, and your future. We'll talk psychology, money, and the business behind it all. So let's get into it. First, what is overconsumption? Overconsumption isn't just buying too much stuff. It's buying things you don't need with money you don't really have to impress people you may not even like. It's filling your closet with clothes you forgot you bought. It's throwing out food you didn't get around to eating. It's upgrading your phone not because your current one broke, but because the new one looks cooler on Instagram. It's also about buying things to fill an emotional void, boredom, stress, loneliness, or even just a habit. That mindless scroll that turns into a $40 cart is more common than we admit. Overconsumption shows up in different areas of life. Financially, it's spending beyond your means. Emotionally, using shopping as a coping mechanism, and environmentally, which is generating more waste than we can even manage. And it adds up. According to a 2023 report, 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, including over 40% of those making 6 figures. That's not just a budgeting problem, that's a consumption problem. Think about that daily $6 coffee, that weekly $75 Target run, or impulsively upgrading a perfectly working phone every year. Each might feel harmless, but it adds up to thousands of dollars annually, often without you realizing it. And a lot of it is psychology, because spending feels good, and that's not a joke. It literally releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical in your brain. And this chemical reaction creates a feedback loop, so you feel rewarded every time you buy something, so your brain wants to do it again. And marketers understand this extremely well. Companies spend billions on research to understand what makes us tick, and then uses that knowledge to manipulate us to spend more. From the colors on packaging to fonts and ads, every single detail is designed to influence your decisions. And take social media for example. You see a friend post a haul video from Sephora or Amazon, and you instantly feel a mix of FOMO and inspiration. Suddenly you're on the site browsing, and the algorithm serves you ads for the exact thing you were just thinking about. It feels like magic, but it's not. It's marketing science. Or take the treat yourself mindset. You've had a rough day, so you justify a $75 DoorDash order or a $150 shopping spree on Klarna. And that's not self-care. That's emotional spending disguised as empowerment. And then there's scarcity marketing, like only 2 left in stock or sale ends in 3 hours, which triggers urgency and fear of missing out. And these tactics bypass rational thinking and push you into emotional impulsive purchases. And impulsive spending is a huge business. A 2022 survey found that Americans spend $314 a month on impulsive buy. That's nearly $4,000 a year, or the equivalent of 2 months of rent in many cities. Even stores are laid out in a way to trigger purchases. That's why candy and small trinkets are near checkout. And they're not accidents, they're very calculated traps. And online it's no different. Ever notice how the buy now button is a bright color, or how websites offer free shipping if you just spend a little bit more? Even buy now pay later systems like Afterpay or Klarna break down the cost so it feels smaller. Suddenly a $300 coat becomes just $75 today, making it easier to justify. All of it is built to make you consume, not thoughtfully, but mindlessly. So let's get to the heart of it. Overconsumption kills your ability to build wealth. Because you don't just trade your money for things, you trade your time, your energy, and your life. Every dollar you spend isn't just a number in your bank account. It's time you spend away from your family, your hobbies, and your peace. That $7 coffee, depending on your wage, it might represent 15, 20, or even 30 minutes of your life. Not just any minutes, but your most productive, most mentally taxed time, likely spent staring at a screen or dealing with stress at work. Now think about that $100 shopping spree on clothes or gadgets you don't really need. That's not just a transaction, that's an entire work day. 8 hours of emails, meetings, or physical labor gone in an instant. Imagine if, instead of swiping your card, someone physically handed you a crisp $100 bill and said, "This is your entire Saturday. Want to trade it for this stuff?" And would you? Once you start looking at purchases this way, through the lens of time, it changes everything. You realize how precious your time is, how valuable your attention is, and how quickly it can be exchanged for something so fleeting. When you make a purchase, you're not just giving up money, you're giving up a part of your life. So ask yourself, is it worth it? You also lose track of your money. Swiping a card or using Apple Pay makes spending feel effortless, but those small purchases add up quickly. A $10 lunch here, a $25 Uber there, a $60 Amazon haul late at night, and suddenly your bank account is empty. It's death by 1,000 swipes. You rob your future self. That's money that could have been invested. $100 spent on fast fashion could have been $1,000 in 10 years if invested with 10% returns. Buying a $5 latte daily instead of investing that same money could cost you over $10,000 in 10 years. All of this is happening because consumer culture is by design. We didn't get here by accident. Modern consumerism started taking shape in the 20th century. After World War II, Americans were encouraged to spend to boost the economy. More products, more ads, more status. Edward Bernays, known as the father of public relations, used psychological tactics to get people to associate products with identity and emotion. Cars became symbols of masculinity, and today iPhones are seen as status, and Starbucks cups are a lifestyle. And now with e-commerce and social media, we're exposed to up to 10,000 ads per day. It's non-stop. Apps like Temu, TikTok Shop, and Amazon are all gamified to feel like entertainment. Flash sales, countdown timers, only 3 left. It all creates urgency and false scarcity. You're not just shopping anymore, you're being manipulated. And all of these aren't one-off purchases, they're patterns, small decisions that become routines, and over time they create a financial life where your money is constantly slipping through your fingers, and you're not even more fulfilled. And the issue isn't just overspending, it's spending without thinking, spending out of boredom, convenience, or habit, and never pausing to ask, is this worth the time I traded to afford it? A lot of this centers around convenience because modern life is built on convenience, and convenience is expensive. You can get groceries delivered, meals cooked, clothes styled, nails done, packages overnight, and coffee brought to your door. But you're not just paying for the product, you're paying for time, labor, delivery fees, service fees, tips, and markups. A 2023 study found that ordering food delivery is on average 90% more expensive than picking it up yourself. Paying $14 for a smoothie that you could have made for $3 at home doesn't feel like much, but repeated weekly, that's over $700 a year for something you could blend yourself in 90 seconds. You're outsourcing everything, and in doing so, you're also outsourcing your money. So what do you actually do about overconsumption? Here's how to take back control of your money and make your spending work for you and not against you. The first is to track every dollar you spend. For 30 days, track every single purchase no matter how small. Coffee takeout, online impulse buys, random gas station snacks, all of it. Use a notebook, a spreadsheet, or a budgeting app. And you'll likely be shocked by how many little things quietly drain hundreds from your account. Awareness is the first step to changing behavior. The next is ask smarter questions before you buy. Every time you're about to spend money, pause and ask yourself, do I need this or just want it? Will this improve my life or is it just a distraction? And am I shopping out of boredom, stress, or habit? This mindfulness creates intentionality, and intentionality is the antidote to overconsumption. And the next is replace retail therapy with real therapy. Emotional spending is real. If you shop to numb stress, feel a sense of control, or reward yourself, that's not just a spending issue, it's a coping mechanism. Investing in therapy, journaling, or healthier habits like walking or creative hobbies can address the root of overspending. You don't need to purchase to feel better, you might need peace, healing, or purpose. And lastly, redirect that money towards freedom. Here's where things get powerful. The money you don't spend can buy you something far more valuable, and that's freedom. Instead of $200 a month in random Amazon orders, invest it in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund and watch it grow into tens of thousands over time. And start an emergency fund, pay off debt, build an FU fund, so you never feel trapped in a job or situation you hate. And use it to buy your time back, so you're not working overtime just to fund a lifestyle you don't even love. And to wrap this up, overconsumption is so normalized, we barely question it. But if you want to build wealth, reduce stress, and reclaim control over your life, you have to. Your worth isn't in what you buy, it's in how you live. So next time you're tempted to impulse spend, remember, they profit when you stay broke, but you win when you opt out. And spend with intention, save with purpose, and don't let stuff own you. And that's it. Let me know what you think about overconsumption and this world where everything just tells us to just buy. And if you like videos like this intersection of pop culture and finance, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other videos. Thank you very much for watching. And did you know one of the most popular establishments in the whole world is pushing overconsumption, both in the financial and eating sense? So check out the next video as to why McDonald's is so expensive and why so many people keep buying it anyways.